Welcome to Travel Turkey, the channel where we talk about all things travel in Turkey. Hi, my name's Connor, and I went for a hair transplant in Turkey in October 2021. YouTube videos really helped me make my decision, so I thought I'd make my own video to help other people too. In this video, we're going to compare some reasons that it probably is worth taking a trip to Turkey to get a hair transplant, and then a few other reasons that might make you hesitate. First, let's talk about some reasons that it is worth the trip. Number 1. It's affordable. Rates range from 2 to 4,000 euros in Turkey, and for the same number of hair grafts, it would cost 5 or 6 times that amount in most Western countries. You can't haggle the price down like you can in this market I went to, but it's still pretty amazing value. Number 2. It's grounded in a really well-developed medical tourism industry, and not even just tourism. Yes, everyone knows Turkey is huge when it comes to hair transplants, but what you might not know is that it's a lot more than that. I met people in my hotel, in the hospital, in the airport, who were getting all sorts of other cosmetic procedures done, from their lips to their teeth, boobs, liposuction, you name it, they were having it done. And even beyond that, non-cosmetic procedures seem to be quite common too, or just checkups. What this tells me is that the industry there isn't just propped up by one fad procedure like a hair transplant. It's really evolved into a much more significant group of businesses, skilled technicians, and doctors that are willing to serve patients from all over the world with all sorts of procedures. I was pleasantly surprised by this, and I found that it further legitimized the industry in Turkey. Number 3, it's a seamless package experience. Everything from hotels to airport shuttles to breakfast and sometimes lunch. The hair clinics really know what they're doing when it comes to creating a comfortable experience for you for the time that you're there for the procedure. I found this was particularly useful given the number of COVID restrictions involved in travel in general, as well as all of the different things you have to remember for pre op and post op guidelines. Just focusing on that and not really having to worry about travel or lodging or food that much made it just a less stressful experience overall. P.S. Check out the private hospital itself. It's just a rendering, but it actually looks like that in real life. Crazy. Fourth and finally, and I think most importantly, you get to travel to Turkey, which is an amazing place to visit. Everything from the food to the architecture, the culture, the people, the history. It's not somewhere you want to miss. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to explore this store? So, my advice would be to not shortchange yourself or the country. Take more time than just a weekend. I've seen lots of guys online and others in person who said they were only there for a few days, and a lot of them did not get the chance to leave Istanbul, and some of them didn't even leave their hotel room. So if you've got the vacation days, break out of that, go there for longer. I was in Turkey for 2 weeks and went all over the place, and my procedure was at the end, and I totally wouldn't regret that. See, my head doesn't look so bad. Actually, it's pretty gross, but everybody's head looks like that. Okay, now we know some reasons for a hair transplant being worth it in Turkey. Let's break down a few other reasons why it might not be. Number 1, the jet lag can be terrible. That's especially true if you're flying from North America or South America or Australia and you're traveling across a whole lot of different time zones. It takes a week or more to adjust to it, and then by the time you're used to it, you're flying back to your home country and adjusting again. For me, it was particularly challenging because I live on the west coast of Canada, so I'm flying across Canada, across the Atlantic, across Europe, and then into Istanbul. So it's a 10-hour time difference, and it meant that I was pretty exhausted for the first week or so of my trip. This is also true on the way home. You've just had your hair transplant, and now you have to recover at home while also having the effects of jet lag. Again, not ideal. This neck pillow becomes your best and only friend through this long process. Number 2, your procedure technicians and doctors may not speak very much, if any, English. And that doesn't sound so bad, but when you're sitting or lying awake in a room for up to 12 hours with some other people doing some fairly intimate stuff in your head, and if you're kind of a sales talker guy like I am, it can be a bit of a challenge. Especially when they're dealing with these, your disgusting but highly valuable hair grafts. Number 3, the pandemic. Traveling during a pandemic is stressful. We know this. The problem with me is because I was traveling around the country prior to getting my procedure, anytime I felt a little bit sick or off or lightheaded or whatever, which can happen on its own from traveling, I thought maybe this is a breakthrough infection, even though I'm fully vaccinated, and maybe I'll have to quarantine and then I will miss my procedure and miss my flight back home. So there's just a lot more riding on your shoulders when you're traveling right now than what would normally be the case. and it's something to take into consideration for sure.
And finally, isolation.
Many people that travel to Turkey for hair transplants are solo travelers, and I was one of those as well. Now, obviously, I survived, but it's a little bit intimidating to go somewhere that you've maybe never been before and go to get a serious medical procedure on your own because you don't have your friends and family that you can call immediately and they can come and help you if something goes wrong. And you're not in the same hospital or the same healthcare system that you have grown up with. So, if you're a little bit afraid of medical procedures in general, doing it something like this in a foreign country may not be the right decision for you.
Even if the hospital looks like this.
So, now that we've reviewed some positives as well as some negatives about getting a hair transplant in Turkey, we need to ask that question again. Is it worth the trip? Despite the challenges with jet lag, the language barrier, the occasional loneliness, and the nightmare of traveling during a pandemic, I still wholeheartedly believe that it is worth it to travel to Turkey to get a hair transplant. For a lot of people, myself included, hair is a defining part of your identity, and not being happy with the way that it looks can really affect your confidence. The hair transplant procedure is this wonderful, amazing thing that science has invented, but unfortunately, because of the cost of it, at least in Western countries, it's out of reach for most people, myself included. Therefore, we're all lucky to have a country that we can go to that not only has a well developed industry, skilled professionals, convenient travel packages, great pricing, and at the same time is an incredible country to visit as a tourist. So now you've heard my answer, tell me what yours is. Feel free to leave a comment below, like the video, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.